The way the brain stimulates appetite is the holy grail for both the food industry wanting to sell more food and the scientists fighting obesity. Dr. David Kessler was once head of the all-powerful US Food and Drug Administration. He is now highly critical of the food industry he once regulated.
It could be tobacco, it could be illegal drugs, it could be sex, it could be gambling. But what's the most socially acceptable cue? Certainly, in our countries, it's food, and it's everywhere. You can't walk more than 100 feet in the United States and not be cued with some signal that food is available. So what's going on is that my brain is constantly being activated by these cues. Here's the fish place. Here's the taco place. Here's the Mexican place. Yeah. And I'm not even thinking about food.
The food industry denies that it exploits neuroscience, but Kessler believes some foods are designed to create what neurologists call a hedonic response.
Hedonic means highly pleasurable. It gives you this momentary bliss. So when you're eating food that is highly hedonic, it sort of takes over your brain.
The problem is, this highly pleasurable food is often high in sugar, highly processed, and highly fattening.
Here's the way America eats. Here's a bowl of chicken. There are nutritional components in it, but it's become so highly processed, so stimulating it. Right? I mean, you can almost sense, just by smelling it, how overpowering it is.
Dr. Kessler's findings suggest that the pleasure some people get from eating these foods is overpowering. It takes the brain prisoner.
Not everybody, but for people who have a hard time controlling their weight, their brains are being hijacked by these very highly palatable foods. When you put it in your mouth, you have sensors and receptors that are hardwired to the emotional core of your brain. But the circuits that are involved, the neural circuits, the learning, memory, habit, and motivational circuits that are being activated are the same circuits that are involved in addiction.
The idea that certain foods can be addictive is highly controversial. The food industry wholly denies that foods can make addicts out of consumers.
The number one reason we like to eat foods or beverages is because of how they taste, and what you think tastes good and you like to eat or have a craving for is maybe different than I would choose, whether it's apples or grilled chicken or a soft drink or a piece of chocolate cake. So I think we need to make clear there's a big difference between liking to eat something because it tastes good and being addicted to it.
Do you think that the food manufacturers know what they're doing by producing hedonic food?
They knew that people come back for more.
How
did they understand the neuroscience? No. But they learned experientially what worked.
The food industry has always used the position with regard to obesity that it is the responsibility of the individual to curb their eating. Would you think that's a fair defense?
I don't think it's fair just to talk about personal responsibility and not corporate responsibility. It certainly hasn't been fair to people, right, who have this wanting, this problem controlling their eating.
If Kessler's neuroscience is right, overeating is not down to greed. The food industry could also bear a crucial part of the blame for the obesity epidemic.